At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome to News 46 as we can review your #1 source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. You may recognize the man who hit the mirror of a CMA cable truck last week at Highway 372 and Pahrump Valley Boulevard. The pedestrian is a homeless man named Dwight Orendorf. He allegedly walked into the path of traffic, according to Nevada Highway Patrol Sergeant Carlos Rivera.
Apparently what we have is we have a pedestrian that is preparing to cross the intersection on 372, crossing from south to north, so he's walking northbound across the intersection. And we have a vehicle that's in the fast lane going westbound on 372, and apparently what it looks like is a pedestrian stepped out in front of the vehicle and got struck. It looks like he got struck with the mirror of the vehicle.
So I know he was transported. How intense are his injuries?
Right now it doesn't appear to be too intense. Right now he was conscious, was talking on there, so hopefully he'll be okay. We're going to do a follow-up here at the local hospital here right now shortly.
And the CMA cable guy, is he going to be looking at a citation, or we don't think that he had anything to do with the incident?
Well, right now everything's still very early in the investigation right now, so we'll have to look at everything that we have right now. But right now it would appear that we do have a pedestrian that is not walking in a marked crosswalk. If he stepped out in front of a vehicle, obviously, then we do have responsibility as pedestrians when we're crossing the highway to make sure it's clear as well also.
And tell me some more information. I know that recently we've been talking about, this intersection tends to be somewhat of an issue when people aren't looking, but also as well what people can do to avoid this.
Well, this is a very highly traveled intersection right now, and we just ask people to pay more attention, look both ways, make sure you come to a complete stop, and just practice everything that you did when you got your driver's license at when you were young. Look left, look right, look left again, and make sure it is clear to go in both ways.
I want to remind everybody to please be careful when you're walking or riding on the roadways throughout the town. Of course, Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Highway 372 is a highly traveled, dangerous intersection that you need to use caution if you're walking or even crossing in your vehicle across this intersection. And once again, as of October 1st, you're required to use a hands-free device when using your cell phone in your vehicle. If you haven't got your hands-free device, I urge you to get it. They can pull you over for this right now, although they can't cite you until January 1st. They can cite you on other violations that they see. And of course, one more reminder, if you see emergency vehicles, you are required to pull to a complete stop on both sides of the roadways while they pass. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Highway 372 for news. The pedestrian, Mr. Orendorf, was transported to Desert View Hospital with minor injuries. One woman was transported locally following a collision on Calvada. A 2-vehicle accident last night at Calvada and Mount Charleston required emergency crews to arrive on scene for the Way Baptist Church van, which had a collision with a pickup truck at the intersection. The pickup truck sustained major damage. The van, however, sustained minor damage. The woman inside the pickup truck was transported to Desert View Hospital, complaining of lacerations to her arm as well as a possible neck injury. The driver and only occupant of the Way Baptist Church van sustained no injury in this accident. Traffic was blocked in both directions during the investigation of this accident, which was conducted by Nye County Sheriff's deputies. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Calvada and Mount Charleston for News 46. And a minor rear-end collision near the parking lot of Walmart required emergency crews to transport one person complaining of chest pain. Nye County Sheriff's deputies and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue responded to a 2-vehicle rear-end collision at Yellowhand and Highway 160 yesterday morning. What appears to be a minor accident still prompted Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue to transport one man in the front vehicle complaining of chest pain. Nye County Sheriff's deputies blocked Yellowhand in the eastbound directions while they conducted this investigation. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Yellowhand and Highway 160 for News 46. The driver and only occupant of a single vehicle rollover luckily escaped injury on Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Calvary. A single vehicle rollover here on Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Calvary Streets required Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's deputies to the scene where a late model SUV was laying on its roof. The only occupant and driver of the vehicle extricated himself from the car. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue did check him out on scene and he declined medical attention. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are conducting this investigation, what appears to be a possible overcorrection of this top-heavy vehicle. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Pahrump Valley and Calvary for News 46. A fully engulfed detached garage on the west side of town caught the main house on fire last week. Emergency crews rescued several dogs from the home on Amarillo Street. You might have seen the billowing black smoke on the west side of town this morning. There was a structure fire on Amarillo Street. We're going to speak to Fire Chief Scott Lewis.
Before 8 o'clock, we were dispatched a report of a structure fire, and in that early dispatch, it was indicated the occupants were evacuating. I was there within a short period of time, found that the attached two-car garage was fully involved in fire with extension to the primary dwelling, confirmed that everybody in fact had egressed out of the house. However, it was stated to us, and very shortly thereafter, that there was at least probably 10 pets still in the house. Fire crews arrived, they mounted an aggressive interior attack. They stopped the forward progress of the fire within the dwelling. They also, throughout the process, you saw safely rescued, I think it was 5 pet dogs. 4 were adults, 1 puppy. However, 5 puppies were lost in the area where it immediately had come through from the garage.
Because these are very small puppies, weren't they?
They were very small. I don't know exactly how old they were, but I would suggest probably just a few weeks. And they were all small dogs to begin with.
You had a paramedic assigned to helping the dogs because they had smoke inhalation.
Yeah, some of the dogs that came out were in severe distress. The respiratory appeared to be affected by the smoke inhalation. So we assigned a paramedic to administer some oxygen and some different care that we've learned over the years for pets. And I know they safely made it off the scene to a veterinary care.
And then the homeowner, for a short moment, tried to run into the structure herself.
Yeah, once the fire was under control, it was actually probably midway through the overhaul effort. One of the occupants arrived on scene and actually tried to gain access into the property, which we couldn't allow. And it was after the fact most of the pets had already been removed. So safely escorted away from that immediate area to ensure their safety.
She was attempting to rescue animals as well, but you had quite a few firefighters in there.
Yeah, there was a number of firefighters. Again, we just want to make sure the fire grounds are safe, and there was nothing that was going to be done further at that point. Most of the dogs had already successfully been removed, and I just don't think she had that information when she arrived.
So there was nobody occupying the structure. It started in the garage. It was well involved when you guys arrived on scene.
There were 2 people on location who were in the house at the time of the fire, and the garage was fully involved. Upon my arrival, there was fire through the roof. In fact, from one end of the garage there was just a wall of fire. And you could already see that it had extended into the primary dwelling. You could see it at the windows, and most of the furniture was igniting. So again, the crews, I can't say enough good things. They did a great job. They went into very smoky, high heat temperatures. They literally, I observed them crawling in through the environment. They made their way back to where the fire was coming through, breaching into the structure, cut it off there. So they did an outstanding job.
And are we calling in the state fire marshal, or will Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue be conducting the investigation?
Pahrump Valley will be conducting the fire investigation on this, but at this point there's nothing indicating anything other than an accidental fire, but the fire is still underway. Or the investigation.
We had quite a bit of equipment there on scene.
We did. We had a tremendous amount of equipment. We had an engine, 3 tenders, a tack truck. There was at least 3 ambulances and 1 other piece of fire apparatus in addition to myself.
5 dogs were saved this morning on that structure fire. Unfortunately, those 5 puppies' lives were lost. They were in the master bedroom closest to the fire area. We, of course, want to thank the emergency crews for all their efforts in rescuing those animals. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A structure fire on the corner of David and Dyer Street had emergency crews scramble to evacuate occupants who were still trying to fight the blaze in the closet of a bedroom. A structure fire was reported here on the corner of Donner and David Street. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies who blocked traffic in all directions. Emergency crews had to extricate a couple of the individuals from the home. We're going to speak to Fire Chief Scott Lewis.
We received a report for a structure fire this morning with the occupants not evacuating. Upon arrival, we found smoke showing from the exterior. We did in fact confirm that one of the occupants was still within the structure in the immediate area of origin. Went in and brought that person out successfully with no injuries. The crews then mounted an interior attack. They found the seat of the fire and quickly extinguished it with no further extension. currently preparing for the investigative phase of the incident, but for right now there's no injuries. The house has been protected and the damage is a minimal amount in a bedroom.
Do we know why they didn't want to evacuate?
I think it was just an effort to suppress the fire.
And right now we're conducting the investigation. Does it appear to be accidental, or do you know yet?
It's too early in the investigation. We're just about to start it. We're properly ventilating so we can go in there and investigate safely. And we're having to remove some personal property in that immediate area so give us better access.
This is quite a large home.
Yes, it has a number of different rooms, and there's a number of occupants on the property. But everything's going well right now.
And there was no extent of fire anywhere in any other room except for that one bedroom?
Correct. There's smoke and heat throughout, mostly smoke, but there was fire damage in this immediate area.
When you guys do the smoke ventilation there, that cuts down on the smoke damage to the rest of the home as well?
Yes, and it also gives us a cleaner environment for our firefighters to operate so we can take off our SCBA. Once we determine the toxic levels of the smoke and the carbon monoxide and all those different things that are byproducts are successfully removed from the property, then we can operate safer.
And as far as animals?
There's a number of animals, fish, birds, things like that. I haven't seen any dogs, but there's evidence that there may be on the property.
And we're going to continue with our interview with Lieutenant Anita Smith from Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue regarding fire safety.
It's very true. It's very rare that somebody would actually die by the fire itself. It's the products of that fire. The combustion process obviously creates a lot of toxic gases and smoke, and that's typically what asphyxiates and causes the death. So what they don't understand is it may not burn quick enough to burn them, but they can still die in the fire, become unconscious due to those toxic gases.
And fire alarms, smoke alarms?
Fire alarms are imperative. They got to be there outside of bedrooms, in the kitchen area, throughout the house. And what's most important is we find that a lot of people have smoke alarms, but they don't maintain them properly. So, those things have a lifespan on them. If they're over 10 years old, you probably need to replace it, But the biggest thing is to change the batteries twice a year. Anytime you change your clocks for the time change, go ahead and change the batteries in your smoke detectors, and you can ensure that they'll be good.
And what about fire extinguishers?
Fire extinguishers are a great thing to have, okay? We obviously recommend that you have a fire extinguisher in your house, especially in the kitchen area. However, let me just make a point. Fire extinguishers are for small, controllable fires. They're for a quick hit, and you're done, okay? If you expel a fire extinguisher and the fire's still there, you need to get out, okay? We don't want people to stay in the house and try to fight even longer and harder. That's where the dangers come in, when they don't realize that it's larger than what they can control and what they can fix.
So call the fire department as soon as you can and just get out of the house. It's much safer for you and your family.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. We provide that service for this community. We'll come and do it for them.
And the Nugget also held a fire safety demonstration. All-American Fire gave a demonstration and training class on how to properly use a fire extinguisher. The class was held at the Pahrump Nugget for Nugget team members to recognize Fire Safety Week.
Well, Ken Young, who's with All-American Fire, does our hood servicing here. And through communication with him and our Director of Property Technology, Tony Curto, we got together to bring our team members out to learn more about fire safety and how to correctly use a fire extinguisher in case there's an emergency on property. Tony and his team work very closely with Ken and his team to make sure that, one, we follow all the regulatory rules that we need as far as our hood cleaning, but also to advise us on anything that may become a danger in the future. So the two of these guys get together, and being this is National Fire Safety Week, decided to go ahead and have Ken come out and do this little presentation so that we make sure that our team is prepared and ready in case of an emergency.
Have you had any instances in the past of fires breaking out, and due to good training someone knew what to do, or have you been blessed with no incidences?
Well, in a kitchen, in a commercial kitchen, there are incidences, and we're pretty good as far as our preventive maintenance, making sure that the grease is being maintained as far as not building up and in the corners and the crevices. And of course, we have baking soda, salt on the areas to be able to make sure, the quickest thing is prevent maintenance, is to make sure that the area stays clean and ready to go, and to be able to teach our team in case there is something that we've missed or is there an emergency, we train them properly, and that's part of what we're doing this week.
Tony, anything stand out in today's training that maybe you didn't know before, or that you would like to impress most upon your team members?
Yeah, there's been a few things. One of them is knowing the proper fire extinguisher, identifying the fire. to properly put it out. In the kitchen, of course, one of the quickest ways is to put the lid on that pan if it's on fire and so forth. How to properly use it seems like a simple common sense thing, but when the adrenaline's rushing, sometimes you have a problem thinking straight, and taking that second to step back and think your way due to training such as Ken has provided helps out quite a bit.
And the folks who are present here today, do they then get the education out to the rest of the team members?
Absolutely, absolutely. We always share all our knowledge with each other. We are a huge family, a big team here, and we make sure everybody has as much information on everything we learn as we can.
Very good. All right, Ken, this is Fire Prevention Week, and you've given us some really good demonstrations on the different types of fire extinguishers, how to use them, when to use them. For the people at home, is it an easy thing to find and pick up, or do they have to go to an extinguisher distributor such as yourself?
There's a lot of places that you can get a fire extinguisher. Retail stores in town sell fire extinguishers. If you need one refilled, A1 National Fire and All-American Fire, we can refill your fire extinguisher. Check your fire extinguisher regularly to make sure that the gauge is in the green and it'll work when you need it. Check your smoke detectors. Periodically check them this week for Fire Prevention Week. Check them every time you change the clocks with daylight saving.
Still more local news to come when News 46's News and Review returns.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome back. Item 20B on the Board of County Commissioners' agenda was the discussion, deliberation, and possible decision regarding changing the office hours for the county treasurer and county branch offices located in Pahrump.
Okay, we'll go to item 20B, action, discussion, deliberation, and possible decision regarding changing the office hours for Nye County Treasurer, Nye County, or the County Recorder branch offices located in Pahrump.
Mr. Chairman, the offices of the Treasurer and Recorder announced the closure of their offices on Fridays in their satellite offices in Pahrump. Based on the NRS, it requires board approval to do that. So that's the purpose of this agenda item.
And that is to fulfill the furlough requirements. Was that the email that I got?
I think that prompted it, yeah.
Yeah, that prompted it. Motion to approve.
Second with discussion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Wigman to approve, second by Commissioner Shinhopen. Further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is just the Pahrump offices. They're not going to be going to 410s here, Tonopah, or anywhere else.
Just the Pahrump office.
410s. It's
closing on Friday.
Yeah, but that's for a furlough day.
I apparently misunderstood what was going on here. Then I thought they were extending their hours on those other days.
They are not. If I could explain it, they're going to remain open to the public from 8 to 5 on Monday through Thursday. They will be working 10-hour days. One they're believing that they will be able to get some of the admin work done without having the office open. But then that also then allows them to facilitate the furloughs within that schedule. So the office will only be open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 8. It'll be closed on Fridays.
It'll be closed to the public, but they'll still be in.
No, they are off on Fridays.
And the hours are going to be 8 to 5?
Yes.
That's not 10 hours.
But they're working 2 extra hours before and after.
That's what I'm trying. So they will be working 4 10s.
Well, they're working 4 10s, but the office is only open 8.
Okay. See, that was my confusion.
Mr. Chairman?
Thank you.
Yes.
If they work 10 and it's still 40 hours, where's the furlough time come in?
Well, it's my understanding that the furlough will come in those 2 hours, or
It makes it easier for them to accommodate the furlough hours. by doing it this way.
They can
They
stagger.
will still take the furlough hours, and it will not be on Friday because that is a day the office is closed. But it facilitates their ability to work around the furlough hours better in their minds.
Yeah. And
Are
it
we
will.
doing that in Tonopah also, or just Pahrump?
You can't. The Tonopah office has to be open from 8 to 5 o'clock Monday through Friday
By NRS.
by NRS.
It's the county.
This is only because, you have to have an office open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. The statute gives you the authority to change the hours of any satellite offices.
Further discussion?
Pam, are they rotating within that 40 hours to take time off? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, that answered my question. Thank you.
Call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. Passes 3-1 with Commissioner Easton not present.
And another item on the Board of County Commissioners agenda was the agenda item and the discussion and possible decision regarding the recommendations by the Nye County Redistricting Committee.
20C, action, discussion, deliberation, and possible decision regarding the recommendation by the Nye County Redistricting Committee.
I understand the need to have commissioners represent approximately the same number of constituents. I thought the board was being very fair when they adjusted the districts so that both northern commissioners represented constituents in portions of northern Pahrump years ago. My understanding of the proposals that you are considering is to go to just having one northern commissioner representing all of the rurals and some of northern Pahrump. And I think that is a bad idea, and it's unreasonable to ask one commissioner to cover that much geographical area. Please retain 2 northern commissioners so that they are able to represent us up in the northern rurals.
I have 2 concerns. One, I don't feel one commissioner can do an adequate job of covering the entire rural area and part of Pahrump. We would have 4 commissioners with only 1 town board meeting to go to in Pahrump and one with 8 or 10 meetings to cover the rest of the county. And again, with either proposal, we could end up with 5 commissioners from Pahrump. So that one doesn't hold any water with me. With one proposal, we're only splitting 2 precincts, and we were told to keep it as simple as possible. With the other proposal, we're splitting 18 precincts into another district. That, to me, is not keeping it as simple as possible for Sam to get this on the ballot.
And you're right. Theoretically, in the future, all 5 districts could be from Pahrump. The one district out there is going to have 400, 500, 600, 700 people in it. That's going to take at least 2 or 3 census years to ever get up to 40, 50% that I see. At least 2 census years. So with the 4-1 district, you're going to have at least 2 census years before really somebody has a problem with that district. But that's beyond the point. I understand that they don't want to look at the numbers. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Passes 4-0 with Commissioner Easton not present.
And a third item on the Board of County Commissioners agenda was the discussion, deliberation, and possible decision regarding a contract for medical assistance to individuals who meet financial and medical eligibility criteria and is budgeted from Fund 231, Dedicated Medical Indigent.
Health, Human and Services, action, discussion, deliberation, and possible decision regarding a contract for medical assistance to individuals who meet financial and medical eligibility criteria and is budgeted from Fund 231, Dedicated Medical Indigent.
Mr. Chairman, this has been a contract that's been bouncing back and forth on agenda items. This is the 50-50 match program. The state is not paying any portion of it this year, so it's basically falling on the county. We had a lot of concerns about whether or not we would have the medical indigent funds to provide this service. A lot of other counties have objected. There's been negotiations. What we've now have put together in the agreement that you have with you is the fruits of all of the negotiations going on with the counties. I will point out that what this does is it has a 90-day termination clause. So if it looks like we are going to run out of indigent funds and not be able to fund this, we would have the capabilities of terminating this contract on 90 days notice. We've also been informed by the state that they recognize the problems, particularly with the rural counties, and they are fairly confident that they're going to be able to have some type of a hardship provision that they're going to do for counties. So I think what I would suggest, if we get to the point where we can't fund it, I think what we need to do is just have everybody understand that they are trying to put together some hardship provisions that we might qualify for that would allow us to continue the program. I wanted you to understand, because the thing is, in voting on this contract, you are incurring a liability to pay for half of the funding that goes to these medical indigents.
Okay.
And again, because normally the state has been paying a portion, that's not happening. You're now on the hook for the entire 50% match with the federal money we're getting.
But we have a 90-day out, and
the state has actually reduced the portion that they were covering and flowed that back to us. And we're not able to exercise a tax levy that would help us to earn that money.
Yeah. Yes.
So the way it reads right now is that we're
obligated to pay.
We're obligated, and we're taking on that liability with the understanding that is the intent of them, that they're working toward an out clause on that.
The liability that we had with the agreement, the way it was originally drafted, was even when we ran out of medical indigent funds, we would have an obligation to fund it. And that was something that we felt was unacceptable.
Yeah.
And so that's why we were able, to negotiate to basically give us an out if we do run into that situation. We're not mandated to participate in this program. The problem is then that services that have been provided to the medically indigent would no longer be provided. And then what's going to happen? And so again, there is funding for this, through the medical indigent fund. It's just that we can watch it and make sure that we don't have any excess liability other than what you normally would pay.
Further discussion? Call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May I ask you?
Passes 4-0.
The Pahrump Town Board was presented Phase 1, the final report, by Versitis Group and Contour Entertainment. This is a non-action item. They completed a final report on the possibility of a theme park development in Pahrump.
So this is the basic sort of overall plan of elements. This is intended as a structure upon which to build. By the way, the sort of green oval to the right is just characterized as event space. The idea would be that this has some frontage, if you will, along there with the infrastructure. It's easy access, and of course there's plenty of land beyond this. But the idea is this structure allows you to fill in those other light green blank spaces with additional attraction development. As success grows, as the project proceeds, then you can add and grow the project. And then of course radially you can draw spokes out beyond this, and you can continue to grow it to a large destination resort as the market proves itself and it all moves forward. So basically that's sort of the overall structure of what we would propose as an appropriate first step. This is just a sort of rough zone plan, the purple being the hotel, then going around counterclockwise, the water park, family entertainment center with the Top Shot driving range beyond that, then the RD&E area, retail, dining, etc. So that's another thing people, by the way, repeatedly ask for is more restaurants. You have some very nice restaurants here, but you have 4 or 5, and so people go to the same ones all the time. And we all pick our favorites and go back to those restaurants. There's nothing wrong with that, of course, and not here to suggest that we're going to take away from Tomasino's or anyone else. They're great, and they'll be just fine. With more people coming, believe me, they'll do better business. Then continuing around from the blue at the center there where the RD&E is, the right is the think tank check-in station, and then the miniature golf and the event space as zones.
More with News 46's News in Review. Stay tuned.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome back. Here are some upcoming events at the local Pahrump Library.
Well, next week we'll be starting the winter reading program for children. That will be on Wednesdays. It'll be starting at 9:15 for the 2 and 3-year-olds, and at 10 o'clock for the 4 and 5-year-olds, and then at 3 o'clock in the afternoon for the school children. So that'll be running clear through to almost Christmas time.
Wow. And some other things that might be going on here?
We still have our book club. That'll be meeting next Tuesday, the 18th at 1:30. This month we're reading authors who write both for young adult or children and adult books. We're reading one of each, so that should be kind of interesting to see how their writing style is different for the different age groups.
And I know we have an anime club here too as well.
Yes, they always meet here on the 3rd Saturday of the month, and that's been going on for 4 or 5 years now. It's been very, very well received and been going on for quite a while.
Really popular.
Yes, very popular.
Also, what are we doing for Halloween here? Because I know we normally have some trick-or-treating and stuff.
Well, we used to have a can for a costume, but we don't have any costumes anymore, so we're not able to do that. I'm sorry. It just hasn't worked out that we have costumes. So what we do have is a few leftover decorations that we're trying to see if we can't dispose of those this year. I don't think we're going to be doing trick-or-treating this year either, as our budget's a little tighter than normal.
And any other things that are going on here?
Shakespeare meets here on, is it Tuesdays? They've been meeting here for a long time. We have the Nitwits that meet on Wednesday afternoons.
What's the Nitwits?
Oh, they come, a group of women who come with their knitting or crocheting, and they visit and they do projects. Usually their own projects. Sometimes they do a project that they give away, like they gave us a project of a quilted lap blanket that we auctioned off with a raffle. And they've been going on and meeting here for quite a while also.
I see that you have snowbird cards now available. What's that about?
Yes, we've had those for a few years. So people who come here for the winter and would like to check out books and movies and things, they can purchase a snowbird card for $25. Part of that is refundable when they leave, and then they have full library privileges.
And as well, everybody can get a library card, can't they?
You bet they can. They just need to show picture ID and something with their current mailing address.
And I know we have a great array of different movies here, as well as books and just so many different things here at the library. Where are we located?
We're at 701 East Street.
And for more information, where can they call?
They can call 727-5930.
Zach Fuentes updates us on Paul McCartney's weekend wedding held on John Lennon's 71st birthday and the top news in entertainment with your Entertainment This Week.
I'm Zach Fuentes with your Entertainment This Week. This Saturday, Michael Forever, the Michael Jackson tribute concert, took place in Wales. The show featured performances by Christina Aguilera, CeeLo Green, Neo, and host Jamie Foxx. Beyonce Knowles, who recently announced that she is pregnant, also pre-taped a special tribute to the late King of Pop. Jackson's children Prince, Paris, and Blanket, who were dressed in some of their father's iconic clothes, introduced her and spoke about their father. Now, aside from his children, other members of Jackson's family were in attendance, including his mother, brothers Marlon, Tito, Jackie, sister LaToya, and Tito's 3 sons, who are known collectively as the band 3T. Michael's siblings, brothers Jermaine, Randy, and sisters Rebe and Janet were not present because they believe that the timing is wrong due to the manslaughter trial that is taking place against Conrad Murray, who is believed to be responsible for Michael's death back in June of 2009. As for the trial itself, things are not looking good for Conrad Murray. Last week, testimonies were given by various witnesses, including doctors and previous girlfriends of Murray. Lately, there have been many rumors that Murray himself may take to the stand to defend himself of the allegations of involuntary manslaughter. Well, Sunday, music superstar and legend Paul McCartney married his fiancée Nancy Chevelle in London. The marriage actually took place on what would have been McCartney's former bandmate John Lennon's 71st birthday. McCartney's younger brother Mike acted as his best man, and a 7-year-old daughter from his marriage to Heather Mills was a bridesmaid. The dress that Chevelle wore was actually designed by McCartney's other daughter, Stella. In attendance amongst other notable guests was the only other surviving Beatle, Ringo Starr. This is McCartney's third marriage, the first being the wife Linda, who unfortunately died of cancer back in 1998, and the second to Heather Mills, which ended in divorce back in 2008. The bride, Nancy Chevelle, has too been married once before. Well, a riot took place on the set of Brad Pitt's latest film, World War Z, in Hungary. Apparently, Hungarian authorities converged on the set after hearing reports that the production contained an extreme number of live weapons. A special team confiscated ammunition and 85 guns, such as AK-47s and sniper rifles, that were only supposed to be props. A spokesperson for the production would only state that, quote, "We are working with the authorities to resolve the matter and have no further comment at this time," unquote. The movie is expected to be released on December 21st, 2012. Well, this weekend saw the release of 2 major films. Real Steel, starring Hugh Jackman, came in at number 1, grossing over $27 million, while The Ides of March, starring George Clooney and Ryan Gosling, came in at number 2, bringing in over $10 million. Last weekend's box office chart topper, Dolphin Tale, was at number 3 this weekend, earning $9 million, and Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt, was at number 4, taking in about $7 million. Coming in at number 5 was the comedy 50-50, which earned $5 million. I'm Zach Fuentes, and that was your entertainment this week.
And John Earl and the Boogeyman Band rocked the Pahrump Fair and Festival. We caught up with the band after their set on the main stage.
Oh, the band, well, we've been playing together several years and just having a good time. We play some original stuff, we play some contemporary and classic blues, and we play everything from bar mitzvahs to birthday parties.
Fantastic. We had a good time. We got that local guitarist sitting in with us, and everything went great.
Tell me about a little bit of background about you guys' musical history.
Oh man, I've been playing about 34 years or so and been all over the world doing it.
I heard rumors that you were with the Allman Brothers.
Yeah, I played with them a few times.
And how'd you guys get together?
Well, gosh, yeah, Craigslist. No, we met in Las Vegas. Actually, Junior was playing, we were playing together, and Junior brought Chris in one night as a visiting musician friend from back east and said, "Hey, you got to hear this guitar player." And we put him in shackles and chains and kept him in town.
And some of your musical background?
I've been playing about 52 years. I started in Dallas, Texas.
Wonderful. And yourself?
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I started with Sonny Boy Williamson. That was my first band. So
I know that you guys had some CDs out there that you're selling. So do you have any other releases? Is this your first release together? And how can people get it?
Well, we've actually got about 4 releases that we've all played on.
And people can get that online or where?
They can find them at blueslasvegas.com. And that's the Blues Las Vegas website. That's our Boogeyman Band website.
Cassandra Becker wants to help you feel your best. She has been a massage therapist for several years. She cut her red ribbon last week with the Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce.
I want to thank everyone for coming out today. I'm here at another ribbon cutting. We have one of our brand new members. I'm here with Cassandra Becker. She has a business, Massage by Cassandra. And we are here on Pahrump Valley Boulevard, right off of Calvada. And she has wonderful rates, and she's right inside here at the outer U. So come on in and get a massage. And at this time, we'll cut the ribbon and just say thank you.
Thank you.
This morning here on Pahrump Valley Boulevard and Calvada was a ribbon cutting with the Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce. We're going to introduce you to Cassandra Becker.
It's very exciting. I'm very excited to be part of the Pahrump Chamber of Commerce and be recognized in the community. We're at the corner of Pahrump Valley and Calvada, my office, and I'm located inside the Outer U. My phone number is 910-1739. Massage that I offer, I call my massage a non-invasive deep tissue massage. I use hot stones in my massage, and it helps to warm the tissue so it's not quite as painful as an invasive deep tissue massage.
And a little bit about your history with massage licenses or certifications.
I'm nationally licensed. I studied in New York at the Finger Lakes School of Massage in Ithaca, upstate New York, and I'm also licensed in Nevada as well.
And I see you have a special $50 an hour. What does that include?
That is $50 an hour is correct. I also offer packages. You can buy 6 for the price, or you get 7 for the price of 6. So it equates to even less than that, which is like $42 or $3 an hour. That's for ongoing work. A lot of people find that they like to get massage once a week, sometimes every other week, sometimes even once a month. But it's nice to just have that as an option.
Is this a great gift to buy somebody?
It's such an amazing gift. The gift of relaxation. It's great. In fact, packages you can even give as gifts. You can share them with your spouse or for the holiday season as well.
What a wonderful thing. So you're in the Outer U here on Pahrump Valley Boulevard. You have a little room in there?
I do. It's in the back hallway, and it's a very serene space. It's great. It's great for relaxing. People fall asleep even.
How many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for 7 years. Yeah.
And different ages or any age, even children?
Actually, I even have children clients, and I think my oldest client is 93, so age isn't really a factor at all.
What hours are we open here?
I'm open, I always say. I work 9 to 5 generally, but I take appointments up until 7 o'clock.
Can people just stop on by here, or should they call?
Well, you should always call, because if I'm here, I'm probably working, and so it's easier to get an appointment that way, and that way our time is,
You have a Facebook and a website.
I do have a Facebook. MassageByCass.com is the website, and Massage by Cassandra is in Pahrump is the Facebook.
If you would like to give Cassandra a call, call 910-1739. We'd like to welcome Cassandra to the Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Calvada and Pahrump Valley Boulevard for News 46. Golfing for a cause. Some golfers would tell you that's what they do every time they swing. But Valley Electric and Desert View Hospital got together this past weekend to help feed the youth in our town through the Food for Thought program.
It is the Valley Electric Desert View Hospital Charitable Golf Tournament for the Food for Thought Foundation, or Food for Thought program within the community.
Tell me why we decided to do this.
Well, Deanna, it's important. We realized that there was a need for this, but we didn't realize until we got to talking to the Food for Thought people that there's over 400 kids that are being served by this program every week, not just every month, but every week. And it's important that our young people have food for the weekends.
And this is something that we're talking about. We're talking about kids who normally maybe get free lunch during the school day at school, but when they go home for the weekend, we're able to send backpacks home with them so they can eat over the weekend.
That is correct. It's a requirement of this community to reach out and to take care of our children. They're our future, and so this is a great program that reaches down to the basic fundamentals of making sure kids have food. And as organizations within the community, we feel that we have a responsibility as good corporate citizens to do what we can for the community. And we have a long history of working with the Desert View Hospital in these sort of functions to make sure that we're doing what we can do. And so it's our pleasure to be able to help sponsor this and to work with Desert View Hospital to fill the needs of our community.
And I know that Desert View Hospital and Valley Electric You do the food drive with K&I as well at Walmart. This is something that's just a step further.
This takes it to a whole new level, I think. This is a very focused group of people who are providing a service for the community, for the children. I mean, for really bare bones for the children in the community that need this service and need the services that they provide. The Food for Thought program does such an outstanding job distributing these, putting these together, and taking care of it. And like Tom said, it's important that as a community partner, we support the community. We've enjoyed this great relationship with Valley Electric, and are going to continue to do these kinds of programs to support the community even further.
Are we going to be doing this every year?
I hope so. You know, from that standpoint, I hope that we have the opportunity to do it. But I also hope that in the future that actually we're not needed, because that means that we've made great strides within the economy and with our community to fill these needs. So if there's a need, we'll be there.
It's really becoming more prevalent, this Food for Thought program, in every community, isn't it? It's really becoming something that people are paying more and more attention to.
Well, I believe it is, and the Food for Thought people can answer better to that, what we do. Again, we're looking at over 400 children right now that are served on a weekly basis with this program. And it's imperative that we support it. We get the people that are going to step up in this community and take care of these kind of issues. There's nothing more important, I don't think, Deanna and I know have said it before. I'm sorry to be redundant, but that the children in this community have food.
How many people do we have enter this golf tournament?
We've got approximately 50 players right now. And then we've had a lot of other donors. We've raised approximately $8,000 this morning.
This is wonderful. People can still donate even after this golf tournament to the Desert View Valley Electric Food for Thought program?
Absolutely, and Valley Electric has been generous enough to let us use their charitable foundation. If you'll donate it to the VEA Charitable Foundation, they'll make sure it gets to the right place, which is the Food for Thought program for this event.
And Tom, how would they get in touch with them?
They can go ahead and call the VEA office and ask to speak to someone in reference to the charitable foundation, and they'll pass them right through.
If you have a special talent and you would like to showcase it, then you might want to enter the first ever Pahrump's Got Talent contest. Wow, we're going to have the first ever Pahrump's Got Talent. It's all going to be held at the Stage Stop. If you would like to enter, we're going to tell you how to do that right now. We're going to speak to Marvin Caperton.
We're going to do something different. We're going to try to get the youth in the area, some talent, see what talent we have in the area. We're looking for poets, we're looking for dancers, we're looking for singers, all you karaoke singers. We're looking for cloggers, whatever talent you have, bring it out to the show, and we're going to pay you. We're going to compensate the top 3 prize winners. First prize is going to get $325. Second prize to get $125. Third prize to get $50 in merchandise. So we want everybody that think they have any talent in this town to come show it, and we're going to do this every year. We're going to find some talent, and we're going to place them somewhere.
So there's a small entry fee for this, and what is that?
That's true. The entry fee is $10 per person. If you have a group of 3 or more, it's $25, which we max out at $25. The deadline to sign up is October 22nd, and students with honor roll status in any school will receive a 15% discount on their entry fee.
Wow. And this all benefits what?
Well, the youth in the area, the community. We're using this as a fundraiser for Pahrump Valley High School Music Department and Art. So we're really community orientated, so we want everybody to get involved, and let's make this town what it really is.
And we have several judges, but where is this going to be held at?
This is going to be held at the Stage Stop Casino, 100 Stagecoach Road. We know about the little problems on Blag, so that's another reason we're continually doing events out there.
So this is going to be actually inside?
No, it's going to be outside in the stage area where the Dusty Flats, where the gunfighters perform over there in that area, the recreational area.
Wonderful. What time is it?
It starts at 4 p.m. and Saturday it's 4 p.m. until, depending on how many entrants we get. Also, Sunday, we're going to have the Pahrump Gunfighters are going to be doing a show, and they're going to have little Halloween deals for the kids, costume, what do you call it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're having their annual Halloween contest or Halloween show the day after.
The day after, right. So we'll have 2 days of activity, and we hope to get you all out there. Also, Saturday of this week, we're having some live reggae inside at the Stage Stop, straight from Jamaica.
And that's this Saturday, the 15th?
Correct. That's correct. Yep. So come on down and get your reggae in.
There you go. And so, as far as the Pahrump Got Talent, do they have to audition, or are they just going to pay an entry fee? And how do they actually enter?
Yes, what you can do is we're going to have some applications at Pahrump Valley High School. There's applications at the stage stop at the bar, so all you minors have to have your parents come in and sign you up. You can sign up, pay your fees there at the bar, or you can contact me, which my number is 702-834-2119 or 775-209-2362, and we'll get you signed up.
And if you are a vendor, there is booths available for a very reasonable price. A 10 by 10 is just $16 for the day, and a portion of that goes to Pahrump Valley High School's music department. You can give Marvin a call at 702-834-2119. This is Deanna O'Donnell. We'll see you down there at the stage stop for News 46. And this Sunday, you can play Texas Hold'em at the Pahrump Nugget and benefit the Soroptimist Club. We spoke to Tanya Brum.
We have our third annual Chips for Charity. This is an event that Jeff Van Alst has been doing for us at the Pahrump Nugget in the poker room, and it's a poker tournament. It is Texas Hold'em, and it's a $50 entry fee. It's this Sunday. We're so excited because this is a very important event for Soroptimists. It's this Sunday in the poker room, starting at 12 o'clock. $50 entry fee, $25 goes to Soroptimists, and that helps Soroptimists support, pay for the all of the different events that we have in town, or all of the different scholarship programs that we have, the programs that we do for the CASA kids, the programs we do for young girls and young women, and for women in our community, because that's what we focus on. 25 goes towards the pot, so you can walk away with money, and people always love that part. And the best thing, people say, oh, I don't know how to play poker. I can play Texas Hold'em. You don't need to know. It's so simple. The dealers that Jeff has doing this are so wonderful, and they're so very patient with everybody, and they kind of coach you along. And I mean, they don't tell you how to bet, but they don't let you make a fool of yourself, and that's the best part. Oh, there'll be a lot of raffle prizes, and there'll be door prizes, and Jeff always does a really good job of helping us with that. But this is the third, and everybody who's gone to it has just had a kick butt time. It's really, really, really a lot of fun.
Jeff is wonderful, and what a professional. This is such a fun event. The room is just packed. You need to sign up beforehand?
I recommend it because it makes it easier for Jeff. You can just pop in, but Jeff Van Alst, you can call Jeff at 751-6508, and that's either Jeff or Troy. They're the ones that take all the information. I do recommend it, but you really don't have to. If you're out and about this Sunday around noon, stop in and join us in the fun. And if you want, you can buy raffle tickets for the raffle prizes we have, even if you don't want to play. But I highly recommend playing because it's worth it. And depending on how many people, it depends on what the pot's at. So they've had some pretty good pots.
Exactly. So this starts at noon this Sunday?
Mm-hmm. It starts at noon in the poker room. And which is now down the hallway going towards the bowling alley. Yeah. It's where the beauty salon used to be. It's a great setup. It's very separated from the casino. No smoking is allowed in there. So for anybody who has that problem, but it's Jeff just makes it. Jeff and his staff, and I have to say, Jeff and his staff really do make it fun. You've been there.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, they are. They're a lot of fun, and it's a good event. And the funds that we raise help our programs here in Pahrump. And Soroptimist International means best for women.
It really is wonderful. And what a great event. And, of course, another great charity to benefit.
Yes, very much so. And it's so important. We're doing so well in this community. As a matter of fact, we're particularly proud of being in Pahrump and having a Soroptimist Club here.
And that's it for this week's News in Review. Some of the events this weekend include, of course, the Wild West Extravaganza, held all weekend long, and it has opening ceremonies Saturday at 8 a.m. And a Sunday at 9 a.m., there's actually going to be a non-denominational church service. Around 3:05 on Saturday, you'll see the Pony Express pulling in. They actually leave the Maverick at 8 a.m. and travel carrying that mail with them all the way over to the Saddle West. Of course, you can see the Melodrama, and it will be held Friday and Saturday night beginning at 7 p.m. On Sunday, you can see it at 2 p.m. The doors open at 1:30. Of course, that's the only thing that costs money there as far as events are concerned. There's events every half an hour at the Wild West Extravaganza. I urge you to go down there, and you can also go to their website to get a whole list of that. Pahrump Valley Speedway also will be having the races at 7 p.m. on Saturday night. And Desert View Hospital is having an event all day Saturday with free flu shots and different kind of health-related booths, and that's a wonderful event to go to as well. And Butch Boraski, the commissioner, is having a community forum from 1 to 3 p.m. there in the Calvada Eye at the Commissioner's Chambers. The public is urged to attend to that. And of course, you won't want to miss that Texas Hold'em poker game, and that's at noon at the Pahrump Nugget on Sunday. And of course, we'll see you back here next week. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Have a great weekend.